We stand for human liberty and are the indispensable partner in the growth and vitality of every community we serve.
Freedom Communications is an interesting media company. As a privately held and a family-owned company, we really respect what the people on the front line have to say. When ideas bubble up from the front line, we listen to them and we really invite input and feedback from folks in the front line so we can learn how to do better. I can't imagine doing something that had less meaning. You know, when you have an opportunity to work in a newspaper environment and to represent the community, to be the voice of the community, it's an awesome responsibility. And I think Freedom Community Newspapers really represents a place where a person could connect the heart and the head to help our communities make sense of the complex world we live in today.
If I go to my editors and say, I think I have something here, they'll say, go for it. And that freedom to report and to really delve into issues is absolutely critical to uncovering important stories like this one. That's the hallmark of investigative reporting, is having the freedom and the time to explore these issues.
We're constantly being recruited by other papers. We do such quality work here, but we're not interested in going to work for more money at a bigger place. We're interested in the experience that we share here. It's nice to win awards, and we've certainly won a lot of awards here at the News Herald, but that's not why we do it. It's nice to be recognized by your peers for doing good work, but I think that the good work that we do is more of a reflection of the environment that we work in, that we're empowered to do this kind of work, that we're encouraged to do this kind of work. It's kind of like the American dream. Anytime you set people free and say, show me what you can do, you would be amazed at the kind of product that you could produce, and that's certainly the environment that we have here at the News Herald.
I like to tell people, a community this size, it's big enough to have some really good, important news, but it's small enough that everybody still wants to know about it. So, you know, a murder case that might be a brief in Atlanta can be a big deal down here and be a fascinating story. We have the freedom to do so much. I've never had a story killed. I've had some refined. I've never had one killed for political reasons or advertising reasons. They're going to let you do your job, and they're going to make sure that you serve the community. I think people, once we explain what Freedom Communications is, we really stand out from the other newspaper chains.
Corporate here is very small, and all we are basically is we help act as a compass. We help give the field guidance if they want it. We help provide resource, but we don't tell people what to do here. We're not what counts. It's our newspapers in the field, our associates in the field. They're the one that counts. They set their tone and they set their direction. They know best how to deal with the needs of their community, not us.
If you believe in hard work and you're willing to learn, there's no limit to where you can go in freedom. And I really tell all of my new reporters that I want to know what their dreams are for their career, and then we'll chart a course to get them there.
I'm really succeeding in where I want to go, where I want to be. Started a great career with the newspaper, and even though it's only been 8 months into it, 9 months into it, I can really see that there are places I can go in this career field. People don't really think about, small town newspaper, you can do great things. They think, you only win Pulitzer Prizes at the New York Times or, LA or Washington Post, but there's great success to be had at small town newspapers, and being a company like Freedom, there's always avenues to move up.
I think Freedom offers a wonderful family environment. I think that people and individuals are valued, and I think that you can really learn and go as far as you want to go with Freedom.
You can do anything that you want to do. You can go anywhere you want to go, and you can make a difference. I do real journalism every day in a real community, and it's not a metropolis. I know that I touch people's lives every day. Every day that I come into the Shelby Star, I'm encouraged to do my best, and I'm supported by a team who absolutely wants the best for me and the community.
I really think in a small paper you have a much greater opportunity to do life-changing news because you interact with your readers on a daily basis. In our community, 22% of people are illiterate. We decided we were going to take matters into our own hands, and we're going to chart how many books Cleveland County is reading. Cleveland Reads a Million is that effort. We've come up with a mascot called CC Reader, and he's a bookworm. He helps us go out in the community. But we really want to show the importance of literacy to rebuilding our economy. You know, our economy has taken a serious hit because of the loss of textile jobs. And we can't make the next step without literacy.
I think the kids' favorite part of the newspaper and education program is actually getting that newspaper. They are going to get some real excitement out of getting that thing that they see as an adult thing. And I think that's one of the big attractions for it, is that they get to actually read and look at and touch and use this thing that they usually see only adults using. And you know, that's pretty exciting, and it's also a way for them to become lifelong newspaper readers. One of the coolest things about doing workshops and working in the classroom with the kids is you see them, no matter what they're doing, they're reading the newspaper. And to me, that's just really cool to see them actually, you know, looking at it, and they're interested, and they're flipping around and looking for the stuff that they're interested in.
Coming from the city, you know, where there was violence every day, and there was a shooting every day, it really starts to wear on you, and you start to become hardened. That's when I knew I had to make a move. The Lima News gave me that opportunity to come back to my small town and work with young people, which would be my interns in the community. Everybody here works together, and that's the beauty about this. I've worked at so many newspapers where you're supposed to be a communicator, but nobody can communicate with each other, and here we do. I have a 1945 Farmall H tractor. It's a great old tractor. I love working on it. It's amazing for its age that it runs as well as it does. The kids love it, and we usually hitch a wagon to it, and we have some hay rides and stuff like that. So.
I'm a cyclist. I've been a cyclist for 13 years. I got involved in this team, and this team is called the Miracle Riders. We try to raise this money for the histiocytosis disease. We get sponsors, and we tell them what it's for and what is the cost for it. And then once we tell them that it's for this children's disease, they help us right away. Every time we go out there, the same sponsors. When you guys gonna do it again, we're here, we're gonna help you out, because I know you guys are doing it for a good cause. I'm printing in a newspaper. I'm the one, anywhere I go, I see somebody reading a newspaper, I print the newspaper. They read it, and they get all this information that I printed, and the job that I do. And it just makes me see, hey, I did that, and I'm proud of my job. We get a new press, you know, everything's gonna be nice and clean. Instead of using this uniform, we're gonna use tuxedos from now on.
Before I started college, I liked art a lot. I did acrylic painting, oil painting, sketching. So I wanted to find something that I would feel comfortable with. As an artist, you're always wanting to show your work off, and that's what you get your high from, and that's what makes you motivated to continue having 30,000, 35,000 circulation. You know that people are seeing your work.
I came from academia. Many people ask me, why do you work at a newspaper? You taught at a university. You should be back teaching at a university. What I tell them is that I'm here because the people that I work with are tremendous. The newspaper is tremendous. We have our finger on the pulse of what's happening in the community. It's exciting. Everything that I do here, or I feel that everything I do here makes a difference. I don't know if I could feel the same way at a larger newspaper.
Every town has a newspaper, but ours are somewhat different than other newspapers. We have more of an interest in the community It's really one of our core values, is supporting that community. We're much less command and control and corporate centered. What we just basically do is try to help them do a good job where they are. And that's why most people don't even know about Freedom. And that's okay. We're actually a big company, but we don't brand ourselves as Freedom. It's much more important what the papers do in their towns. And that's what's really important.
We're not disconnected from the community, even physically. Our front door is the door to the newsroom. And really, if you think about it, that's a good metaphor for the way that we look at our coverage, for the way that we look at our community and how we need them as much as they need us for information. We have a lot of really good success stories here, and we want to tell those stories just as much as we want to tell about the unfortunate poverty and how a lot of those really sort of devastating demographics are true here. But there's a story behind that in the sense that people are trying to change it. People are trying to change it, and we want to make the community aware of that. Because every time they become aware of that, they see an opportunity to help change it. If we don't tell them, they don't know.
They come in or on the streets, they could just bump into you and they ask you right away where you work, and we tell them we work at the Brownsville Herald, and they feel that they have this connection that they could tell you their problems and you'll be able to help them. Since Brownsville is so close to the border to Mexico, we play a big role in the community, trying to get our United States news and our Mexican news in one.
We're telling stories daily about people and their lives, and that's journalism. We're telling people what effect things will have on them, around them. The city council action will most definitely have an effect on somebody's pocketbook. Decisions made by school boards will have a direct impact on their children, on my children, as a member of this community.
People come to this company specifically because they know that this is a place where they'll have a voice and that their voice will be heard. And you see that played out, you know, it could be late in the evening and someone gets a call that maybe an ad didn't appear on time, or there was a problem with a story, or somebody got hurt and someone needs to fill in for them. And people don't look to someone to tell them what to do. You know, they take action and they roll up their sleeves, whatever level they are in the organization, and they jump in to do something about it.
You know, a few months ago there was some racial difficulties in one of the schools here. There's a painting that was deemed racist by people, and you know, 10 o'clock at night I'm in the middle of a meeting and a parent comes in and pulls me out. And you know, at first I didn't know what to think, but it was a huge front page story for several days and no one else had it. They went out there and they said, we're going to do this and we're going to do it right. We're not going to do just a half job and just give, you know, one side of the story. We went ahead and we went for it and did the whole thing. And a lot of papers wouldn't have had the courage to do that.
In the 75,000 and under circulation division on the Associated Press competition, our sports department was named the best sports section on a daily basis. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and the thing about the Lima News is it's such a good team concept. Some nights, you know, if we think overall a story is worthy on A1, a sports story, well, it goes on A1, and a lot of papers, you know, don't think that way.
And we have a number of people that have decided, even though they're very competent and could go on to much bigger papers professionally, they like where they live, they think it's a great family, they get married and they have kids and they settle down and they say, I like this job, I'm not going to just move on. And they have capabilities of doing it, but they opt not to.
One of the biggest rewards working at this size paper is, I like this community. When I first came here, I thought I'd be here, 2, 3 years, show everybody how to do it, and then blow on out of town. But, I really like it. At one time, I was working with a group of photographers. All three of us owned a home within 3-4 miles of each other, in the same neighborhood.
Basically, I'm used to living in the inner city and on the East Coast, and it was really weird because when I first got here, I called my wife that night and she goes, oh, what's it like? What's the paper like? I said, the paper's really cool. I go, and she goes, well, what's it like? I go, the town is just like Mayberry.
When I drove through Shelby, the lights were on. It was Christmas time, and I drove through Uptown, and I thought to myself, this is somewhere that I want to live. This is somewhere that I want to make my home, and And living in a smaller community like Shelby is great. It's got a great quality of life.
When you go to work in a small community, one great benefit is that you don't have to live in a cramped apartment and put your life on hold. You can begin to build a future.
They've made it very easy for you to be able to attend things that may be happening with your family or your children. They're very understanding about that and very flexible, which is really a great thing because you don't find that with a lot of businesses. I mean, I've been here 21 years. Over that 21 years, a lot of it, what has kept me here working for the paper is the fact of how they make you feel. It's like one big family.
I have to stop and remind myself that it's been 31 years.
I really feel like I'm a partner with my customers, and if they're succeeding, then I'm succeeding.
They get the paper and the kids' baseball team won a game, and he just, he'll grab it. Hey, Mom, my name's in the paper, and that's not going to happen in a big market.
It's all about the Freedom Associates that work at our newspapers. They're the ones, they know their communities, they know the issues in those communities, and you know what? They love those communities. They care about those communities. That is their home. Every day you can go in and you can say, I'm making a difference. I'm part of that. Those are the kinds of things that count. And we're the kind of place that we value those kind of things, and we value each other, and we make those kind of things possible.
Mom, I'm in the paper.